This one's going to hurt.
Welcome to the Best Known Church Show, where we show you how to 10x your reach with church marketing that will help you increase your impact, make more disciples, and become the cornerstone of your community again. This is for the leaders with an outrageous vision, because anything less would be an inaccurate reflection of our Creator. The ones who have unreasonable faith, because you know God works unreasonable miracles. And the ones who are relentless in the pursuit of your calling, because anything less would not make a good and faithful servant. If that's you, you're in the right place. Now, please welcome your host and guide on this journey to become the best known organization in your community, Justin Nava.
Welcome to the Best Known Church Show. My name is Justin Nava, and if we have not met before, I take full responsibility for that. And I take unique responsibility because today I'm actually going to share with you, I'm going to be a little vulnerable with you, and I hope that as you watch this, you'll see some of the best practices that you need to reach more people on Instagram. Look, I've got a vision to see 1 million churches become the cornerstone of their community, to be the best known, to be the refuge and safe haven for their community. But if people don't know you, they can't go to you. And in the same way, I got to admit, if people don't know who I am, they can't come to me for our help, for our support. We can't assist people who don't know to come to us for assistance. So a little bit of background here. I met the young woman that you're going to meet today, Miss Tanya. I met her at a conference. We were both speakers, and we connected beforehand the conference and then stayed connected after the conference. And I said, look, I need an outside view of my own social media. My weakest social media presence is Instagram. That seems to be something that I personally have not been able to crack. TikTok's growing, YouTube's growing, Facebook grows, but Instagram, I just left it behind and never really touched it. And in fact, you'll see her kind of really get mad at me because essentially I knew what I should be doing, but I refused to do it. So as we were starting this consultation, I said, you know what, can we stop right here and can I hit record? Because this might be some value. We're going to laugh in this. I'm going to eye roll. You're going to eye roll. But at the end of this, I want to share with you two things. I want you to walk away with just two things. Not three. I'm not a preacher. We're going to do just two things. Number one, realize that, hey, we all got our own blind spots. In fact, myself, you may hear me repeat it. I tell her, this is the same thing I would have told my clients, but we don't see it within ourselves. We don't see our own blind spots. So number one, I want to help you realize that even us, the pros, have our own blind spots. We always need an objective third party, which is, again, why I want to work with you, pastor, church leader. Number two, I want you to see some of the things that she talks about that maybe you haven't thought of. How captivating is your Instagram bio to get people to actually care about what your church has to say? Are you utilizing highlights to give an overall presentation of your church for those that are curious? And are you utilizing a good content posting pattern? We have our formula, which I don't talk about too much on here because I don't talk too much about social media. But she has a very unique pattern that I like that she calls the fresh pattern. You're going to learn what that is so you can implement it for your own. So this is a little bit of a twofold. Number one, I want you to see that you're not alone. And number two, see what you should be doing on Instagram. So we're going to jump right into it. I don't have an intro for her. So let me grab her info really quick. And I got to go to my other browser here and get that for you. And I'm going to have to go to my messages and grab her. This is Tanya Gray Johnson. She's a social media strategist. She's also does a lot with homeschool stuff. And of course, the page isn't working. I can't pull up her bio. I want to pull up her bio here so I can read it to you. Let me see if I can get it up on my phone. Captivating, I know. We're going to cut all this out. Here we go. Here we go. So yeah, so she helps ministry leaders and moms reach and teach the next generation. She's a social media strategist for faith-based organizations. And you can see that when she does this, you can see her passion and her purpose bleed out of here. So here's my consultation. Here's me getting roasted by Miss Tanya Gray Johnson. Stake deeper into my heart, please.
Hey, I can do that, but you got to tag me if you use any of this stuff, because then I can use it and be like, look, I taught a branding guy how to brand better. And that's the thing, though. Like I said,
all the cobbler's kids have no shoes.
Well, and that's the thing. People don't understand that branding off of social media is not the same thing as branding on social media. So
Mhm.
you can have an amazing brand on your business, and then when you get to social media, it's like, like I don't know what this guy's up to. And like I said, so that's kind of how I feel. You show up like big bombastic way in quote unquote real life. I know it's over video, but real life. But then when you get on social media, it's not like I don't know where Justin is. It's just very business like, and there's a little bit of humor in there because I picked it up on some of your reels, but it just does not shine like it should be going through. And actually, you mentioned hooks. Hooks are another thing I actually wrote down on having better titles for your videos.
Man, I
And
thought I was doing pretty good at that.
so you're not doing bad. So here's the thing. Let me ask you kind of a trick question. When do you write the title for your video? Before you
Yeah,
do the
before.
video or after?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem. Do the content of the video and then figure out what your hook is going to be from there. So I'm just going to give you an example.
Wait, say that one more time.
Do the content of your video, then figure out what your hook is going to be.
Okay,
Because
so
you're going to have an awesome title. And then once you deliver the content and re-listen back to it, you're going to hear an even better title.
okay. Now, when you say write the content, do you mean script it or actually film it?
However, you do your
post?
process. So I script my stuff. So if you script it, do your scripting and then come up with a title from there. If you like to wing it, and I know some content creators do better at that,
Mhm.
like do the recording process, listen to it as you're editing, and then figure out what your title is going to be.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying you can't come up with like a title because
And
to get your
okay,
juices flowing,
another
but then
piece
it
of
has to
another
live your
piece of
career.
clarity, because I want to make sure I'm getting everything, and I want to
Yes,
make sure
that's
I'm
fine.
talking the same language as you. So I view it as two different things. There's a title and there's a hook. So the title could be, for example, a piece of content that I'm thinking, I killed two churches. And the
Okay.
hook is, after meeting with me, two separate pastors on two different occasions decided to shut down their church. But here's why you should meet with me instead. That's the hook. But the title is like we talked about
So
for this. The
which
title
one
for
are
this
you
is "Watch Me
posting?
Get Roasted" about my own brand, and the
So which
hook
one are
is
you posting on your reels on Instagram? Are you posting your title or posting your hook?
posting the title, because the title cannot be as long as the hook, because there's only so much space, right? People are only going to read 3 to 6 words, 3 to 7 words.
So here's an example. So you did let me figure out the one. You did it on branding. I don't remember
Mhm.
what you wrote on there, but what I wrote down because you said it in your video, and this is what I would have put my title. I don't know, title, hook, whatever you put on
Okay.
social media. This is what I put. Jesus Christ is for everyone. Your church is not. That
Mhm.
is what would have drawn more people in than
Mm.
the title that you had written. So that's more what I'm saying. Whatever is the the wow factor,
Gotcha.
that is what needs to go on social media
Okay.
because you've got to have something to where people you're going to stop the scroll.
Mhm.
People are on here for a lot of times just to be entertained. That's what social media
Right.
is for. Which one of the things we're going to talk about is showing up a little bit more humor on your page. And actually, one of the guys that I follow is one of the guys that you follow because I saw, when you go to Instagram, it says so and so, like all your
Mhm.
friends follow this person too.
Yeah.
He owns Social Sunday TV. I forget what his
Jonathan.
name is.
Mhm.
Yes. So those are the kind of reels you are going to want to start doing on your own page to draw more eyes in
Sure.
because your goal is not to sell your product. Your goal is to get more people on Instagram so you can then target them with ads, you said, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
So your goal is to do whatever brings in more people, not just necessarily tell them about why they should do your product.
Okay.
Um, so the aesthetics is another one I wrote down, making sure you have a
Can I
highlight
hold
section,
my questions until the end, or can I just like fire as they?
whatever you want to do.
I don't. I don't want to interrupt your flow.
No, either way is fine.
Okay. So yes, the
I
goal
have
is to
notes I'm
get.
looking at. So my flow is like kind of, I can put pauses in it, I
Okay.
guess.
So the goal is to get more people to engage in the content. I can retarget them, but yes, also build a community. Who doesn't want to build a community?
Yeah.
The trick is, and the reason I love doing meme videos. You look at our church account; it's all meme videos because I am actually a really funny person. I am the funniest.
I know you
I
are. That's
have the
what I'm
most
saying.
bigly
Not showing up.
humor you've ever seen. Um, but my brand is authoritative. I don't know if you know the brand archetypes, royalty. It's very much like watch me do what I want to see you do. I'm not the friendly neighbor brand. I'm not the brother sister brand. I'm also not quite the patron matron brand, the wise grandmother brand. But it is the I found success, follow me there kind of brand. So my
And
concern
in
with
real life, that translates well. In social
yeah,
media, not so much.
right. So on social media, my um when we did our branding, what we looked at as social media is folks like Myron Golden in the Christian space, a little bit of Sean Cannell, a little bit of Alex Harmozy, and maybe I should have given you this, and a lot of Grant Cardone.
That's okay.
It's like, I've been there, I've made the mistakes, I came out of the mud. Let me show you how to do it too, right? And I've done the same thing. I walked into a media team as the only person, and when I left, there was 5 people to replace me because I built that team up. We helped the church go from 3 guests a month to 30 a month. My own church, we broke membership records after I came on as the media guy. Let me show you what I did there. So it's all, and we took one church from nowhere to front page of Google twice in 90 days. So it's very much like that royalty of, I want to be like him. And I feel, and this is all that was to explain, I feel when I do meme content, I'm not coming across as an authority so much, but as I mean, I think it's great. I wish I could do me, and that's how we're building our church brand, and that's how we're 10xing our church brand. I do emails about that too, right?
10xing. There's the Grant Cardone. I was waiting
Yeah.
for some Grant Cardone language.
Yeah, sure,
Grant
sure.
Cardone.
But that works well because our church is the friendly neighbor next door brand. That's how our church is. So I feel like, and you can tell me if this is my own mental barrier, which I tell people all the time, you got your own barriers you need to go across. I feel like if I do Jonathan's videos, which his meme stuff is great for authorship, it's great for a low ticket product like Sunday Social, which it's great. I love Sunday. We have a license too for Sunday Social. I just don't feel it translate into a high touch, almost luxury service like we do, where the lowest price is going to be around $3,000 for most churches. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Now you're getting churches, like an individual person typically does not buy this. It is a church, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yours.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's not DDC, it's B2B.
And that's fine. But here's the thing you gotta think about when it comes to social media is the church as a whole is not looking for you. Mm-hmm. One person has to find you that happens to be on staff, and usually they're going to find you through the For You page, and the For You page is mainly going to be humor stuff. Okay. So when you're looking at your content on social media, you've got content that you're making for your ideal client, which is the top-notch value-based content like what you're talking about, and content that you're making for new eyes. So Facebook or Instagram will push you out into the space, I guess. Do you know who Brock Johnson is? He's a big Instagram person.
No.
Do you know Charlene Johnson?
I'm sure I'm going to see him in my feed now that you said his name. And
dude, listen, Facebook and Instagram straight up be stalking people. I promise you. Yeah. Every time I talk about somebody on one of these things, or a brand, or a shoe, or whatever, I open my Facebook. I'm like, oh look, there's all the things we just talked about.
Yep.
So he's a huge influencer type, but he like trains social media coaches how to be coaches. And one of the things they offer are coaching sessions, and it is not cheap. Mm-hmm. But if you look at his page, he is a mix of humor to get those new eyes on him, and then a mix of, this is like the bare bones, no one's going to watch this except people who are already bought into my content and already want to buy my packages, they just can't quite afford them, or mm-hmm. people who are already like in my space, they just haven't heard this piece of content. So
is it Brock Johnson?
Brock, B-R-O-C-K.
Brock Johnson, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, whatever your name is now.
Yes. And I am actually taking notes on here. So what I like to do is send a kind of summary recap of what we talked about afterwards. So I will send that name to you as well. But that's, so any client that I've seen that either are clients of mine personally or even coaches, they all pretty much do the same thing with where they've got a divider with their content. They have the stuff that is for their hardcore people who are already ready to buy. They just haven't pulled the trigger. And then the stuff for people who don't know who the heck they are. They're just hoping that they find them on social media and then can come into their page and see what they're actually about. Okay. So one thing we're going to do is go through a target audience sheet and answer some questions, and just so I have more clarity, but also, and you're probably actually going to answer these right away because you have already done a lot of work on your branding. But then kind of see how can we translate onto social media that person.
I hope you still ask me a question I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. You are really, really good at branding. What I bring to the table is just translating it to social media in your specific case.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air because I'll talk to people and they're like, I don't know what branding is. That means I got to have a color scheme. I'm like, well, that's
a logo.
Part of it. And that's a part of it, but that's not the part that makes you money. So the aesthetics is going to be your highlight section on your Instagram. So like I said, when people don't know who you are, come to your page, there should be 3 or 4 bubbles up there. Start here. These are my packages. Like, why the heck am I going to stay on your page type thing?
Sure. Kind of like Instagram pin posts, or not Instagram,
so there's
TikTok pin posts.
There's pinned posts and then there's highlights. Let me pull mine up and I can just flip it around.
You can tell Instagram is the app I only open once a month.
I don't know. Can you see
it's those bubbles at the top? That's the highlight? Okay, gotcha.
Those are the highlights. Those stay up there all the time. They're basically things that you put in your stories that you want people to see forever. And so like my highlights, I have the Dollar Kids Club, which is one of my low ticket items. I've got Social Money. So it's the course I have on how people make money from home.
What a great name. Social Money.
Well, you only have so many characters you can put in those highlights, so I had to get
okay. Gotcha.
Otherwise it only shows half the word and then no one knows what it is anyways.
Social Mo, what is that?
Oh, trust me, I had Social Mon and I was like, that doesn't work. So Social Money, and all it is social and $2 signs. So it's usually an eye catcher. So just some bubbles of, okay, who is this guy and why should I follow him? A posting strategy, which the acronym that I made up, and this is what I teach my clients, is the fresh model. So you're basically on a 5-post rotation. They're going to be fresh, responsive, emotional, salesy, and helpful, because there is a time to be salesy. You know that because you've been in this business long enough. So what I wrote down, and I went through your most 3 recent reels when I did this. You had one that was on generic branding, and you talked on how a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in, or no, you didn't say this. It was generic branding and basically telling them in so many words why you should not be a generic brander. You need to be like a specific niche. Right. So if you wanted, but on a lot of these, you didn't have any call to action or anything at the end. It was just, here's the information. So my question to you, because this is what it looks like. Are these part of long form videos that you chopped up and put on social media? Yeah. Okay. And that works.
I record the podcast every week and then I turn them over to my editor.
They're from a podcast. Okay.
Make me as many clips as you can.
Podcast or a YouTube? They kind of look like they were from one of them.
Yeah, but it's a podcast that I also live stream on YouTube.
Okay.
It's recorded live on YouTube.
Actually, what is the name of your YouTube? Because I probably will start listening to those because I really like the content that I heard.
It's Nava Church Marketing on YouTube. YouTube.com/Nava Church Marketing. Or you can go to thebestnavachurchshow.com.
I was going to give you a compliment, but I guess now I'll give your editing team a compliment. I'd say your videos, the editing side of it, the reels are really good. Like
it's been a teaching process. Yeah.
They were very, very good. That is definitely something that I've evolved in over the time, is the editing part, because it's not as easy as it looks when you first get it.
As you scroll down, you can know it's like, okay, yeah, they were just clipping. Oh, they were using AI. Oh, now they're actually getting motion in the front. It's an iterative process. Yeah.
It definitely is. But no, that is really good. So what I would suggest is making some content strictly for Instagram that are not taken from long form videos, because it's really hard. You can't really have a call to action on all of those because you're in the middle of a podcast and they're just clipping out a segment of it. Okay. So naturally you're not going to have a call to action. But for example, so F is for funny, and we kind of already talked about that. That's going to be a lot of skits, and I'm going to send you some people that I would kind of copy some of theirs. Now, when I say be funny, do that once every 5 videos. I'm not saying show up every day and be funny on your page. Yeah. But the goal is to get some of those out there so people who don't know your content are kind of driven to your content. Okay. Responsive is literally just interactive. That is purposely getting people to comment. So you're literally going to ask them as your call to action to go comment on your video. So that generic one, a very easy way to make that into a responsive video would have been at the very end. Now, you can play around with this. You can type it out as part of the description and see if that works for you. And then you don't have to redo the whole video. But ending it with, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in your branding? one being on generic, 10 being I'm flooded with visitors weekly. So same content, you're just adding something at the end to make it fit into one of these categories and get people talking to you. That is going to get more eyes on your page when Instagram sees, oh, this guy's getting comments and responding to those comments. We're going to push his stuff out to more people, even if it's not funny. Right. So funny is not the only way you get eyes. It's just kind of the easiest way you get eyes, at least in the beginning. The same reel that you did, you could easily turn it into an emotional, which is basically just a testimonial. By adding to the end of there, we just fixed this problem for our client so-and-so. Here's a before and after. Like, this is what his brand looked like before. This is what it looks like after. Sales, same thing. Now, originally you said just focus on growing. So I actually did not put really any, I kind of said you could just skip that one. But.
Well, the sell could just be like and follow, right?
One more time.
The sell can just be like and follow or, whatever.
Yeah, but you're kind of doing that with all the other ones. So if you're not directly going to be having people like, oh, go click a link to buy XYZ, I would just skip the sales one, because your emotional and your testimonial one, you're kind of like, those are sales in itself. You're just not.
I mean, we could also do either DM me the word homepage or comment below homepage. Like, if this makes sense, you want to see what I'm talking about, comment below homepage. We've got a whole automation we can kick off.
Okay. Yes. So your content is really good. You just need to have a call to action on the end of it, so people actually know, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with this information? Because even I was listening to some of them more than just the 3. I went and listened to a lot of them, and I was like, this is really good information, but like, after every single one, where do you want me to go from here? That's what I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, is this a problem you can fix for me? Is this something you have like a video I can go watch on? Like, where do I get the rest of the content?
Makes sense.
And then the helpful, just the providing value. Again, the same exact reel at the very end. Give them one thing. Hey, you can do this today to be more visible on Google. Because you talked about Google in that. I don't know anything about Google. So that I would have been like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to follow this guy. Like, I do social media stuff. He's showing me how to get visible on Google. So they kind of complement each other. So you're going to get people who are very visible on social media following you for the Google expertise that you provide. Okay. And that is one thing that I wrote down bio wise, because we need to come up with a good bio for you as well.
Yeah, I hate my bio.
Well, most people hate their bio because it doesn't really tell a whole lot. It's kind of generic using your.
I like my Twitter bio better, but it's more Twittery.
And unfortunately, I wish they could just all be the same. Like, it would make that much easier. I don't do anything in Twitter, so I don't even go in Twitter land. Twitter is just text, correct? They don't have video yet or anything, right?
Yeah, they have video.
They do a video.
Video, but it's just text and.
So is most of your stuff on Twitter text?
Yeah.
Okay, so doing text shows up well on Instagram as well.
Like I would screenshots?
Rotate. I mean, you can do screenshots more easily. I would go into Canva and make up a graphic that was with your brand colors and stuff. But I'm saying the same content you put on Twitter, you can also put on Instagram as content. You can also use Twitter and Instagram to drive traffic to each other as well. So that's something I see a lot of people now. You can do screenshots, especially if you have a large Twitter account. Do a screenshot into the graphic and put that up on Instagram. And it's just a way for people on Instagram to be like, oh, we use a Twitter. If I like the little snippets he's sharing here, I'll go over there. Okay. So the branding, the aesthetics, the actual social media posting, whatever you call it, strategy, and then engagement. So those are the 4 things I wrote down, and then I want to like deep dive into all of them. We probably won't have time in 1 hour, but when I started looking through your stuff, I was like, man, there's like, again, I don't like using these sessions for like to get to know you. That's why I did that before. I like these to be meet sessions. Very basic thing you can do right away when you do your Instagram is go interact with 10 people before you post and 10 people after you post.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. I do that on TikTok and I notice a difference. Yeah. Again, so I just don't open Instagram that much. In fact, you and I are talking over DMs. I don't even open Instagram to talk to you because my Instagram is tied into my CRM and I talk to you through there. I don't even open Instagram to talk to you through Instagram DMs. So definitely some intention going to be there.
Here's the thing. The fact that you just told me that, so Instagram knows that you're not opening their platform, so they automatically kill your reach just because they know you're not even on there.
Yeah.
So that is one thing I'd be more conscientious.
Tough love received, coach.
I would be a lot more conscientious when it comes. Now, my engagement sucks right now because for the last month I've been scheduling my posts. I've just been busy, so like I haven't been interacting, and my stuff has plummeted. So, I mean,
That makes sense.
yeah, I'm focusing right now on my email list, and my Instagram's kind of like it is what it is. So you have to focus on what you focus on. It's not, you know, it's tough love, but I also understand there's seasons for focusing on each platform. It sounds like you're going into your Instagram season. So you kind of got a lot of other things built up. Now it's Instagram. So let me pull up the target audience list that I told you. I took a screenshot of it and saved it to my photo so I didn't have to go open it when it was time to do this. It's just easier than trying to go back and forth. So tagline we're going to come back to. When it comes to, now again, this is social media branding, so I'm not talking about your business. When it comes to social media, why is your audience following you? Like what do you want to be known for, I guess? Yeah, and I'm assuming it's like the church social, not church media. You don't help people as much with social media. It's more branding in their real world and Google stuff, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you want to make clear in your bio. Like they're not coming to you to learn how to be this big guru on social media. They're coming to you to find how to get to the top of Google. So that is definitely something
I would even go beyond that. I mean, they're learning how to reach people they've never reached before because they don't have an online strategy. They don't have a marketing strategy. They're stuck just trying the same thing over and over again, much like yours truly on Instagram.
Say when you say online strategy, that translates into social media strategy.
I know.
And that is not what you're wanting to.
And that's where we already talked about this. Like, I'm not going to waste time, and don't take offense to this, Tanya. I'm not going to waste time helping churches post 5 times a week because that has to compound. That is a long-term strategy. Mm-hmm. And if they need to go from 3 guests to 30 guests in a few months, the ads are what's going to be it. So I am in it for the quick win for them because that's a quick win for the kingdom. And we'll consult them through that long-term strategy. So that is a friction that I constantly have because people come to me and it's like, hey, how did you help this church get this many people coming in the doors? What are you doing on social? And I just tell them, pay money to Facebook and they will send you people. And they don't like that.
Your target audience is not the small church that has.
So that's part of education that I do. But contrary to that, we are primarily a small church agency. Our average church size is 125 for client wise.
And you said it's not your bottom pack. Is it your bottom package that's $3,000?
That's the average starting whatever they decide to get. Whether that's a website or the Google management, the Google ad grant, all that stuff. And that's over the course of a year. But yeah, I mean, that's typically where people come in at. And again, these are from our experience, once churches hit 300, they have a communications person and they're a better fit for our coaching program, which is also 3,000. So it's one of those things where it's like, the agency part is actually for smaller churches because they're the ones that need the help. The larger churches have teams. They just need to know what to do. And that's where we turn into more of a teaching coaching partnership.
Yeah, we're part of a larger church now. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's such a breath of fresh air when people know how to post on social media and know how to do a bio. And I'm not trying to like school every part of every ministry that we're in. I'm like, I'm not being paid for this. Y'all figure this out yourself. And I'm not here as free labor. I'm here as a church member. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so your primary audience will be small churches that are looking to grow, looking to reach people they've never reached before. And then you primarily do that through, now you say through ads, you're still talking about Google, not social media.
Online marketing, yeah. We are a full service agency, so we run them through our definitive church marketing method. Branding, website, SEO, Google ad, Facebook ad, press releases, essentially.
So social media is a very tiny part of that then. Majority of what you do
is one piece of the puzzle.
Okay. I would focus on the fact that you are teaching them how to grow without primarily using social media because a lot of churches don't want to get into social media. So
I owe you more money than what I paid you for this consult because that's worth a lot of money.
Listen, I told you I try to show up and give more value than what I get paid for. But that, like, your social media is such a tiny part of your puzzle. You're going through the fact that you're going through SEO with these churches. I don't go through that with them unless it's SEO on Instagram. I teach them how to grow on Instagram without paying any money. That's what I do.
Yeah.
My main focus is getting them visible, and that's going to get more people in the door that are local. Yours is, I don't want to say a, like, get people quick scheme because that sounds bad, but yours is more direct, like
Shortcuts.
for money, but I'm gonna get you a faster result.
Yeah, that's almost like shortcut I mean, really that's a good hook too. Shortcut the algorithm and just get in front of more people.
Yeah, I'm writing a lot of this stuff down. So I can then compile it into something to send you back that is more legible than my chicken scratch right here. So okay. So on social media though, what's gonna make them coming back to you? So I would say learning how to shortcut the algorithm. Maybe learning how to shortcut the real life algorithm so they don't think we're talking about
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, the ultimate vision for us is, I mean, the company vision, I shared that with you, is to help 1 million churches become the cornerstone of their community. So in an ideal world, someone follows me because we're showing them how to be known by more people, because they could make a greater impact if more people just knew they exist.
Is that in your bio, the 1 million churches cornerstone of the community?
No, that's my vision. That's
Well, that should be part of
that's
your
for
bio.
us.
No, yeah, it is, but that's also what you're giving to your audience.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is gonna end in 10 minutes, and then I'm probably gonna hop you over to Instagram FaceTime to finish it up. The I do free Zoom because again I sell these as 45-minute ones, so it gives me an excuse like, oh, we're done. Sorry.
Okay. Well, let's see what we got. What can we do in 9 minutes? Let's
But
do
I'm
it.
telling you. Okay, so I feel like I've gotten clarity on your brand just talking to you. Where are we at?
It's so easy to know who you are and so difficult to communicate that to others.
Yeah. And that's where getting the outside eyes, I feel like what you do for churches, it really helps them translate to the people they're wanting to reach. So the next question, what do you want to be known for? When people think of blank, they think of me. So I would say when people think of shortcutting the algorithm and church growth, right? That would.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the term church growth, and I only use it because that's what people search, but I honestly hate that. I mean,
Yeah, but
again,
you
I
have to
want to be
show up in
known
what people are
for
searching
helping
up constantly.
churches reach the people around them. Because I mean, we have a great client that flat out told me when we started working, we are never going to get above 50. If we get close to 50, we're going to send them off to plant another church. So they are never going past 50. And when we started, they were like 30, and now they're 45. So I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't want to grow them. I want to grow the kingdom.
So this is where we talk about hook and title.
Yeah.
They're searching church growth. So that is what I would have front and center. And then on that little highlight section, we talked about the start here. You're going to have a couple slides talking about how your goal is not church growth, as in you don't care about the numbers. You're wanting them to reach people they've never reached. Like you're going to kind of show your heart during when they're going to find you by church growth and get to know you. That hey, I'm not.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I hate it. I hate that it works that way, but man, it makes sense.
It sucks, but
yeah.
What credentials do you have in this area as far as SEO, Google, and ministry both? What have you done that makes you an authority? You said you're all about authority, so
it's all about the results. This up here is just for show. That's a music degree.
I know. I remember you saying that. I was like, it's funny. I have a teaching degree, and I'm freaking doing social media algorithms.
Yeah. No, it's all results. It's all client results, testimonials. Like I said, the stories that we have.
How did you learn SEO? Was it just trial and error?
Yep. It was actually accidental.
Nice. That's how I learned Instagram. Okay. So that gives you relatability because you can take the person who doesn't know anything about SEO, anything about any of this, and teach them. And again, give them a shortcut. They don't have to fail forward like what you did.
Yep.
So that's a good one. What are some things you can do better? Like you've already looked at competition, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. What are some things that your competition does better than you? And what are some things you can do better than that you already do better than they do?
Our customer service is 100% better than they are. Their resources, as far as when it comes to provided software, is better than what we are. So we don't have yet a client portal. We don't have our own software product. A lot of since we are full service agency, we don't even have something for clients to log into because we're just doing everything. So if a client wants to like, I don't know, update their own Google business profile, they probably have a login, but they don't know it because
Yeah.
we're doing everything for them. So that's something that they do better is they have an actual SaaS product that we still don't have.
Now, is that something you're wanting to do, or do you not need
By
it?
the end of 2024, the goal is to have by the end of 2024, the goal is to have our own SaaS like product. And the goal is summer 2023 to have our own client portal. That's just been constantly kicked down the road.
Trust me, I have lots of those things on my list too. Sometimes you do what you're good at and everything else kind of
Yeah.
goes. Some of these are more for your business, less for social media. So I'm going to skip some of these. Like I said, I get a lot of people that don't know any branding at all. So you go through a lot more in depth the branding side. I think we covered a lot of this. Now we just want to translate it. I got your vision, your values. Yeah, now we're just going to translate it into the social media world. Now, one thing this is just makes for an interesting story to tell people on social media. You said you have a music degree. So how did you get from we have 5 minutes, give me your, I don't know, 90-second version of you went to college for music.
Yep.
How the heck did you end up doing what you're doing?
I went to college for music because I was in band. I surrendered to the ministry and everyone said, you're good at music, go do music. So I went to a small Christian Baptist school, got my church music degree. It took me 5.5 years. By the time I got out of it,
Took me 5.
I was burned out on it. And at the same time, I was a music intern. Again, building up a team. Eventually, I built up a youth band that basically replaced me. So they were like, what is Justin going to do? I started doing skit guy stuff. I built a drama team, built a media team, basically found that media and communications was my gift. When I got married, I went to the pastor and I said, look, we're getting married next month or next year. I need a full-time job or I'm going to have to, leave the church and go somewhere. At the same time, the current IT director for the church and private school was leaving for another job. So they said, we have this one if you want it. Media is like half of it. And I took that job to provide for our family. And basically that's where I built up my IT and media knowledge. And in fact, my primary first website story was a trial and error story because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of good with computers.
My first website looked like garbage. So you figure it out on the way.
Yep.
So your heart is ministry. It's not media. It's not even church growth. It is you are showing up in whatever way God wants you to serve. And that's what you've been called to do. And it kind of has evolved into this.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's awesome. That is.
I mean, I wish I had a heart for kids ministry and missions and the homeless. And I wish, this is what I'm good
My
at.
husband has a heart for the homeless. And yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's just not there at all for me. So
yeah. I wish I had a normal ministry mindset, but this is where I'm at.
No, I feel like this has become much more and more normal ministry because churches don't know how to do it. And I hate to say it, but you got a bunch of like pastors that are 60, 70 years old. They don't even know how to log into social media, let alone do anything like ministry wise on social media. So yep. I think this is a ministry that's very needed. So this has 2 minutes left. Let's see. So bio, I kind of want to do something where I'm going to need to work on it, send it back and forth to you before we come up with a bio. It's not something I usually do on live. Same with the highlights. So your aesthetics are really going to follow in with what we just talked about with branding. Now we're just trying to figure out how to translate it on social media. Mm-hmm. Posting strategy, I talked about a little bit already. If you want to write down just the word fresh,
and I will. We have something very similar. We call it Beast.
Oh, really?
It's almost one for one. It really is.
Okay. What does B stand for? Because now I got to know.
Brand, encouragement, advertise, spark conversation, testimonial.
Yeah, literally. I think the
only But I don't do it. I just say, we just buffer everything. Give me as many clips as possible, load it into the buffer. Buffer's going to fire out one a day, as long as there's something in the queue.
And that is why no one's finding your page. Because
Thank you. Like, Thank you for that hard truth. What a great taste to leave in my mouth.
Literally, Instagram's like, this dude's just trying to make money off of us. We're not showing his stuff to nobody.
Yeah. Thank you.
You got to show up and at least act like you care on people on social media. You got to be social on social media or they catch on to it real fast.
Again, roasted.
That's funny. Roasted by a mom at the pool with her kid. That is what your hook needs to say.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. My consultation with Tanya. There was one clip out of there, just a personal story she didn't want broadcasted. So that was wholly unedited, minus like a 2-minute segment of a story that she didn't want publicly broadcast, and so took it out. There's a lot in there, and especially the end, man. The roast, it was a reverse sear, right? We were getting kind of warmed up, feeling good, and then boom, this is why no one cares about you. Tough love received, coach. I want to correct one thing here. Tommy in the chat said, am I wrong, Justin? You think like a Christian and this lady is strictly business? Look, this was a business meeting. This was not a meeting where we meet and say, how can we reach more people for the kingdom? Where do we donate money for? No, this is how do I get more people to find me and my organization and my process on Instagram? So this was strictly a business meeting. I can tell you, Tommy, Tanya is a wonderful woman. I highly encourage anyone to go follow her on Instagram because she is all about faith-driven social media. In fact, I'm trying to work a deal with her where I can bring her on and do consults for our clients because it is just that valuable. So if you want something similar, by all means, go and follow her on Instagram. What is her handle? Let me get her handle here. Helping Heart Ministries, I guess it's just Helping Heart Ministries. So at Helping Heart Ministries, let me throw it in the chat here. Helping Heart Ministries. And I'll put a link down below in the description, hopefully. So go follow Miss Tanya there. She is fantastic. And she did show her little stats here. I mean, she's got over 22,000 followers. So she's definitely got greater reach than I do. I want to get to that point. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go watch me implement this in real time at the Justin Nava. You can see me try to build out this bio, put these highlights together. I think she's doing a wonderful job, and I'm very thankful to God that our paths crossed. So go follow me on Instagram at the Justin Nava. If you're not already liking and subscribing so you get these, I want to encourage you to also subscribe to me on YouTube. We're going to try a couple different things over the summer. We're going to do more relevant, recent news, taking a look at some statistics, sharing some behind the scenes things. Nope, that's not the YouTube. That's going to be in our Facebook group, which I will announce next week. But we're really going to try to get more out there on the YouTube just to make it more worth your attention and more worth your time to follow me on YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube if you're not watching me there. Like and subscribe wherever you are, Spotify, your favorite podcast app. Leave a review. That means the world to me and helps me know that we're helping you all out, much like Tommy in the chat. I appreciate you all watching. God bless, and I will see y'all next week.
That's going to do it for today's episode of the Best Known Church Show with Justin Nava. Be sure to subscribe to stay updated on the latest news, strategies, and resources that you need to reach 10x more people and become the best known in your community. To send us a message or leave a voicemail for Justin to be played on a future show, visit thebestknownchurchshow.com. And if you'd like to work with us so you can focus on your ministry, give us a call at 832-861-7654. Until next time, stay outrageous, unreasonable, and relentless.